United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The clerk take the roll, please.
Mayor Bro?
Here.
District 1 Morstead?
Here.
2 O'Connell?
Here.
3 Rademacher?
Here.
4 Wyland?
Here.
5 O'Malley?
Here.
6 Burchell?
Here. At this point in our agenda, we take comments and suggestions from citizens present. Is there anyone who would like to address the council on any item not on the agenda? Anyone? Can I ask one more time? Okay. Hearing none, let's go to the consent agenda.
To approve the regular meeting minutes and closed session minutes of August 20th, 2007, and the special meeting minutes and closed session minutes of August 23rd, 2007. To approve claims for payment in the amount of $354,514.20. A detailed description is available in the clerk's office on request. To approve the issuance of 2 regular operators licenses for the period September 5th, 2007 through June 30th, 2009. Additional information is available on request in the clerk's office. To approve the St. Croix EMS write-offs in the amount of $30,588.17 as recommended by LifeQuest following Phase 3 of their collection procedures. To place on file the Hudson North Hudson Community Access Board minutes of August 28, 2007, and the St. Croix EMS Commission minutes of August 27, 2007. That is all.
What is your pleasure on the consent?
Move for approval.
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Morset?
Yes.
O'Malley?
Yes.
Wyland?
Yes.
Burchell?
Yes.
Rademacher?
Yes.
O'Connell?
Yes.
Motion is carried. I'd like to deviate a little bit and go down to communications recommendations of the mayor. Proclamation regarding the Youth Corps Month. And Ms. O'Connell will read the proclamation for us. Following that, her cohort will talk about the mission of the St. Croix Valley Youth Corps. Yes.
Whereas the United States is built on strong communities in which citizens play an active role in the success and future of our youth, and youth court programs provide restorative justice for juvenile offenders, resulting in effective crime prevention, intervention, education, and enhanced public safety. And youth court programs hold juvenile offenders accountable and help reduce the caseloads for the juvenile justice system. And the youth court programs provide services and opportunities for young people to build character and achieve productive lives. John D. Burrow, Mayor of the City of Hudson, Wisconsin, do hereby proclaim the month of September 2007 as Youth Court Month in the City of Hudson and call upon all citizens to recognize and support the outstanding achievements of the St. Croix Valley Youth Court Program.
All right, great job. Let's give her a hand.
The mission of the St. Croix Valley Youth Court is to benefit the community by helping youth understand the justice system and take responsibility for their actions by providing a swift alternative to the court system.
I think this is a fantastic approach to youth, and certainly backed by our city judge and all of the people here in Hudson. And we wish you the best, and if there's anything that the council can help you with, I'm sure you'll have plenty of help from our city judge. But if you do have anything you need, please come back to the council.
Thank you, Mayor. We want to thank you for the use of your municipal courtroom as well. Thank you.
Thank you for acknowledging that whole situation. Thank you. Let's go back to update on projects. Chuck asked if he could have the night off, but he did give us a written report, and I would suggest if you have any questions or comments to call him directly. I think he's babysitting that new little son that he's got. I think it was a son. Anyway, update on health insurance options.
We did get on late Friday the 2008 rates. They actually, for one of them, went down, which is somewhat unusual. Not a lot, but it did go down. So I did prepare some different scenarios and gave them to the 2 members of the ad hoc committee in Marlboro. So we'll be getting together probably later this week to.
Everybody get a copy of that?
I did not make a copy for everybody yet. I certainly can do that. I just gave them to the 2 committee members because it's basically just different scenarios of what we can do. So I wasn't, but I can email it out tomorrow morning, so.
Well, either that or make them a copy and give it to them at the end of the meeting, because
I
I
can do
think
that.
it's one of our most important endeavors.
But the scenarios here, there's nothing written in stone. I just wanted to provide some different options so they knew where we were cost-wise, so. But there will be a savings to regardless of which way we go, because it went down a little bit, so.
Well, I've got you on deck. You want to handle the new business procedures for possible referendum election?
Catherine and I and Betty, Nancy, we sent out that email explaining kind of where we were, but until we know something from Madison, whether there will be levy limits, when they'll go into effect, whether they'll even have a referendum option, we're just kind of sitting in limbo right now.
So they could remove the referendum option completely?
I'm not saying they will, but we just don't know.
I had a question.
And it depends how long they go. If they go too long, we're not going to be able to have a referendum because of the time frame in order for us to get the budget done and get the taxes.
That was my question for Catherine then. Why can't we proceed under last year's law? And if they go and change the rules on us, we have to set our budget for next year. And we can't go like the state's doing without a budget. We've got to set it by.
Well, the law doesn't exist. It sunsetted and expired just by
January
virtue
1st.
of, yeah. So there is no law right now there is no law limiting your levy.
Well, we're not going to go overboard anyways. I don't know
Well,
why we
it could be it could be void. I mean, if you do something different than what they authorize,
So
it's just an
potentially
exercise it's just a meaningless exercise and it will be void.
Well, let's take Dennis's scenario played out. They don't agree on a budget till November or whatever. Can we put something in place, and they then they do put something in place after the fact? The fact that we have something in place, does that have any
No.
holy water at all, or
No.
is it?
We had a meeting about some things with Sean Lenz from Ehlers and Associates, and he's been getting phone calls from municipalities asking, well, what if we pass our budget quick? Before the state.
Right.
And they're gonna make it, well, I shouldn't say they will probably make it retroactive.
So potentially,
This
we
year's
could, we
budget.
could move forward on the old existing law.
No.
No, there isn't.
Well,
just
there
said
is
no.
no law. It
Well,
doesn't,
what have we operated in the past?
but that law just expired under the terms
So
of the
there's
law.
nothing
There's
on the
nothing on the books.
Right now.
So there's
So
nothing.
you don't have any
We're not
authority to
breaking any
seek.
laws.
Well, this is conjecture on my part.
I know,
But if they take that particular approach of going to referendum, I think they're smart enough to be able to give us the length of time necessary to put it forth. I really do. And if they don't,
Well, and if
But
they
that
did-
part doesn't help us if we get to October, because we have to have our rolls in for next year's taxes.
If they wait too long in Madison, they simply are not.
Yeah, they could give us all the,
Well, I know,
There probably
but-
won't be a levy.
but we
Possibly
can-
Yeah,
won't be
maybe
one
there
for
won't
next
be
year
one.
Because
we
they
can
push
what
it out
if
too
all
long.
night.
but the point is we can create our budget, know exactly what we need to spend, and then when we find out if there's a levy limit, we can look at a referendum.
Sure.
Yep.
And that's what we're gonna, the budgets are
We're
back
going
in
to proceed
September.
with our budget.
Well, I understand that.
I've suggested to Devin that we start out at 0 and go to 2 and go to 4, and then have something ready for a referendum. So we can fill in all of these, and we'll be ready to take the appropriate approach on whatever they pass. I don't know if there's any better suggestion that you can come up with, but we ought to be ready for each path of approach as it relates to the
Let's send them
the
another
budget
letter.
itself.
I think in the meantime, though, we can still have a discussion whether or not, if we want to have a referendum or increase our tax levy limit to cover certain things, I think we should at least be ready from our discussions, what path we want to go down and what it is that we want to look at funding.
If you put forth all the ones that I suggested, it includes what you're saying.
Oh, okay.
I think, Paul, that, my department's doing its budgeting right now, and I think that all departments are. And our budgets, what we need to provide for the city will dictate to us what level we need to be at if there is a tax levy limit, and whether or not we need to go over that limit by asking the citizens of Hudson through a referendum ballot. But only until we have done our budgeting do we know what amount of money do we need for next year. So my department's doing that now, and I assume all the other departments are as well, so that we're ready whenever, whatever is gonna come down the pike.
I noticed in your meeting, you were asking for safety budgets, right?
Correct?
Good.
Correct.
I don't know how else to approach it, other than to go as I suggested.
I guess we're having a special meeting next week to discuss police issues, so.
Right. On the 11th at 6:30.
Yeah.
Everybody's agreed to
And then
that.
budgets are due back in the 24th, though a lot of them will be in sooner, and as soon as we can get the information in, we can put the what-ifs together, the different scenarios, and bring it back to you.
We're certainly not gonna hold our breath waiting for word from Madison.
Absolutely not. Anything else on that subject?
No.
So we'll probably have a special meeting on the 11th, and then right after that, we should have another budget meeting, whatever is compatible with the alderpersons here, but we'll have some suggestions ready for you to consider. Okay? Let's go to a new business application of Footwedge Partners LLP to rezone River Ridge Professional Center at 1200 Osford Street from I-1 Light Industrial to B2 General Business District. Then he's going to give us a
Mr. Mayor, I'm a partner in that group, so I just wanted everybody to be aware.
recuse. Okay.
As the issues simply states, is just to set a public hearing date and refer it to Plan Commission for consideration. I suggest a public hearing date of October 15th, 2007, 6:55 p.m. I moved it back 2 weeks. I'm going to be absent from the meeting, first meeting in October, and I would like to schedule this for the second meeting in October, if that's fine with the Common Council.
Okay. Any
Move.
comments?
Move to schedule the public hearing for Monday, October 15th at 6:55 p.m.
Second.
Any discussion or comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Communication recommendations of the mayor. I would like to appoint to the Public Utility Commission and the Park Board, Robert Brown to the Public Utilities Commission, and the appointment of Tammy Erskine to the Park Board. Copies of their letters are attached, and I need confirmation on.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion or comments? I think Tammy was at the Park Board meeting this evening, right? I think she'll be a great addition. And Bob Brown has served on the utility for probably 4 or 5 terms now. So it'll be a continuance of a lot of background information and also a lot of knowledge. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. I think we've got everything except the communications and items for future agendas. Any alderpersons? City attorney? City administrator?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
Well.
I want to thank you for